What a handsome wagon. Today, continuing on the series with Mr. Wags. This car is my 2007 BMW 328i T6. I bought this thing in February of 2015 in Arlington, Virginia at a Honda dealership where it had been traded in for a Honda Odyssey Elite. And I was told by the salesman that the man trading this in was weeping. So I totally understand that. I feel bad for the guy, but hopefully he is at least partially aware that this thing went to a good home. This car is a non-sport, although I've done all of the sport upgrades to it. The downside to that is if you run the VIN, it won't show a sport pack. The upside to that is all the non-sport 328, 325 cars came with 16-inch wheels, and that actually used wheel speed for tire pressure monitoring instead of sensors. So this car does not have tire pressure monitor sensors, which are kind of problematic on the E90. So that's kind of a cool thing. However, it is incredibly rare optioned. So it's a 328, but it has bi-xenon, adaptive but not dynamic headlights. It's got the fogs, it's got power folding side views, it has auto dimming side and rear view mirrors. It has no iDrive, but it has premium sound. It has Bluetooth hands-free. It has premium package. It has cold weather package. And it does not have comfort access, which is all, in my opinion, lovely. So, what I've done to this car, the list I'm sure will escape me, and it is significant, but at a glance, I have put factory sport seats, so they're memory, power, lumbar, premium sport seats. I matched all the options, so they were plug and play, no problem. The original non-sport seats in these cars really suck, and the sport seats are just epic. I also found a sport steering wheel. This is actually out of a 2006 only E90, sold in the 325 and 330 Sport, but it's a much nicer, thicker leather wrap with a higher quality leather than the 07 Plus steering wheels that have the little silver lining there and there. It's much more similar to the E90 M3 wheel, and that's not entirely correct because that is from an 06 and this is an 07, but bear with me. I've got genuine M Sport kick sill plates I got from Neil Sutherland at Quarry Motors, good friend of mine. If you ever need parts, I'm not necessarily your guy to ask anymore. Neil is. He may be getting out of the business next year, but for the time being, I highly recommend it. So Quarry Motors Spares in Naples, Florida, and they also have a location, I think, in Sheffield, England. So beyond that, I digress. I've got a set of hand-laid carbon fiber interior trim. I actually lucked out when I was searching for E90 M3 carbon leather on eBay, and I found this custom set of real carbon fiber trim for, I think, like $575. So I pretty much stole that. It does have, if you guys have been watching, yeah, you've seen that I've upgraded this. This MID is out of a 2011, so it has the silver knobs on it. Not quite correct, but it matches the silver on the HVAC in the 07. The 06 would have had gray both places. It has a ZHP shift knob. However, it is a stock shift lever. The clutch delay valve has been removed. That was actually the first thing I did. I drove it home from Arlington to Minnesota nonstop, and I actually stopped at my shop on my way home to delete that before I got home at 2 in the morning and slept. So if you have one of these cars and it's a manual and you have not done a CDV delete, go do it right now. I have modded the headliner by making it really dirty by using it and hauling it. I have these Spartan Autotech floor liners in it. That's Spartan Auto USA. If you want a set for these, you do actually have to email because the E90 sets are not listed on the website. Then the coupon code is EF, so Edward Frank 1950F Oscar Frank. That'll give you like 10% off or something like that. And it gives me a kickback. So hardwired Valentine 1. For suspension, I have a set of FK Streetline coilovers, which I've done on the YouTube channel. For brakes, I have 135i Brembo 6-piston aluminum monoblocks in front and stock calipers with stop-tech pads in the back, just to kind of keep the brake balance right. For summer wheels, I run these M219 E90 M3 wheels with Michelin Pilot Sports in the front, just because they're still on here. And I've got Kumho XF PS91s in the back, downsized 10 millimeters of width in the back, just to keep the rubbing at bay. The engine, stock, except it has an in-gen cold air intake. I do have a 3-stage manifold I picked up, and I will do that mod at some point on this car to bring it from 230 or 235 horsepower to 270. I have Euro OE Blackline taillights. I have a Megan Racing axleback. I have a modified Kurt trailer hitch on this thing, which is really solid. I do use it to pull cars around, or at least did back in the day. It is, I forget the actual paint code, but it's metallic black exterior, black on the interior. As you can tell, I live in this car when I do use it. Unfortunately, all wagons in the US have the panoramic sunroof, so my car does have that. Of course, it's got the split glass only or tailgate. Again, full of crap, probably from last time I went to the racetrack in it. But yeah, this car, there's debate on how many were imported into the United States. But worst case, a little under 500. Best case, about 183. So from 2006 to 2011, the entire range of the 25, 28 pre-LCI, and 28 LCI 6-speed manual rear-wheel drive wagons, there are fewer than 500 from that entire period. So this car is insanely rare. The only thing in this garage that's rare is actually the Murcielago. But this car, that's the main reason I don't drive it anymore, at least not regularly. It's because it's too rare to replace. It also has optional rear PDC, good or bad, depending on how you want to look at it. For future plans, honestly, I actually got rear-ended in this car a few years ago, and they did a great job. So they replaced one of the headlights, and they didn't replace the other one because it wasn't damaged. So that one's foggy. I'm going to replace that headlight. I'm planning to do MTEC 1 bumpers front and rear, but that may or may not happen. I am also planning to do the 3-stage intake manifold, so the E9330i intake with the tune, just to get a few extra ponies, not that it needs it. And then beyond that, I may take out these coilovers and actually go with factory M Sport coil springs and shocks, just because the spring rate isn't quite right on coilovers for the wagon. And yeah, just kind of keep it really stock and really clean, keep the miles off it as much as I can, and enjoy it once in a while. That's kind of my plan. So I'm not intending to get rid of this car at any point. As the values continue to climb, there's a chance someday somebody will make me an offer on it that I just can't refuse. But in the meantime, this is still one of my favorite cars. This probably has my favorite manual shifter of any car ever, including the 1M. It's actually a little bit better than the 1M, and it handles and grips amazingly. It gets good fuel economy, it's reliable, it's quiet, it tows a trailer. There is just nothing this car can't do. If the Model S was a wagon, it would be a close competition, but since it isn't, Mr. Wags still has the leg up. But yeah, there you go. That is Mr. Wags, the 2007 328 IT Sport Wagon. Thanks, guys.